Trump just announced that he is cutting the Pentagon budget, or that he's ordering the Pentagon to cut their budget over 8% in the next 5 years. And that is why Palantir is down right now. So that's the news. That's the headline. There's another headline that we'll talk about that I think is also leading to the compounding sell-off that we're seeing right here at Palantir. But this is an aggressive sell-off. It's pretty aggressive. I didn't expect them to be down at this point. Wow, 12%. Last time I checked, it was around 9%. So we got another 3% down. And yeah, that's the headline. That is the headline, 109.23. I have a couple of thoughts on this headline, obviously, and I want to go through that. Let me know what you guys are thinking right here. Thank everybody for being here. We got Grab earnings coming up. We got to talk about the Fed minutes, Microsoft's new quantum chip, and then obviously this Palantir news that broke literally 5 minutes before we went live. So here's the thing. Palantir looking like it's about to break 109. Yeah, we did touch 108.8. There you go, back at 108. Here's the thing. There's two headlines that are really messing with the street right now. Number one is obviously Palantir getting the downside effect of the Trump administration having a budget cut. And Palantir gets money from the government. If the Pentagon's not spending as much money because they're decreasing their budget by 8%, yes, that could affect Palantir. Number two, and I don't know if this news is going viral right now and that's what's causing the impact, but we talked about this news in the morning. Palantir's 10K came out and we went through the documents where it showed that Alex Karp is going to be selling about $1.2 billion worth of stock from now until 2025, about 9 million shares. And I think some Barron's articles or, general business media articles started getting that headline to go viral. And so when you combine the fact that Karp's getting ready to sell $1 billion worth of stock and Trump cutting the Palantir or the Pentagon budget, yeah, that leads us to a little bit of red right here on Palantir. Now, what are my thoughts on this? Is this a buy the dip? Is this a sell the news? Is this, just kind of hold on and don't really care? It's a little tricky. And the reason it's tricky is because obviously Palantir is trading at a pretty extended multiple. At this point, it's trading at 90 times price to sales instead of 100 times price to sales. 90 is still pretty aggressive when most software companies trade at around 15 times price to sales. And that's the most elite of elite software companies. So Palantir is trading well beyond that. I think the market was waiting for any headline to take Palantir down, just like they were taking any headline for Palantir to go higher. Yeah, they'll take any headline for Palantir to go down as well. So, a headline that I don't even really think is going to affect Palantir to that much of an extent. Now, I'm not an expert on how much the Pentagon budget goes to Palantir or goes to software, and I'll try to find out that information, but I don't think that's the majority of their government business. But I think the market's interpreting it as like it's a precedent for more cuts across the broader DoD when it comes to defense spend, and that could hurt Palantir. The really obvious answer to this is that if you need to spend your money more efficiently, you're probably going to spend it on the software that works, aka Palantir. So initially when I saw the dip off this headline, I was like, all right, I guess I understand why the market's interpreting as that dip. Just like we saw NVIDIA go down 20% because of DeepSeek. Did it really matter? Not that much. But granted, NVIDIA is not trading at the extended multiples that Palantir is. Palantir, when you factor in the extended multiples, along with the fact that Karp's selling $1 billion worth of stock that came out this morning, and then you get this Pentagon news, yeah, I could see it taking a little bit of a haircut, especially in a world where Palantir for the past month and a half has only gone up. I mean, realistically, we had a couple of days of some weakness back in early January when we hit 63. And then since then, it's just been a straight move up. So that's my perspective on this. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Let me know in the chat if anyone's buying the dip on this. Is it an absolute buy the dip? It depends on your position sizing, right? Like, I mean, if you've been in this thing since 20 and you really haven't increased your position and you want to get some more shares, then yeah, 10% or 12% down is better than buying 12% up. But it's also one of those things of just like, how bad is the pain going to be on this? And this is why buying the dip is really hard, because no one knows, right? Like no one knows. The difference between this dip and the NVIDIA dip is that when NVIDIA fell, it got very cheap on a PEG ratio basis, on a price to earnings basis, price to sales basis. Palantir is still, relatively expensive from those conventional metrics. Now, granted, those conventional metrics have not mattered for Palantir for the far majority of the past year and a half, to be honest. So I don't know. I really don't know if those metrics matter and if those metrics are going to set a precedent for it to continue to fall, and if it's going to create a compounding effect of people selling off their stock. But nonetheless, this is what's happening. Let's get someone onto the show who can give his perspective on this. He's also going to be covering Grab earnings with me, which is going to be starting in 10 minutes. Sam, what's up?
What's going on, dude? How are you?
I'm doing very well. What's your take on this, man? Do you think this is justified? Down 12% right here?
Was it justified going up?
I mean, I guess that's a fair point, right?
Yeah, I mean, like if it's justified, like, because it's going up based on expectations, so it's going to come down based on expectations. That's just what's going to happen right now when it's extended.
So what's your take on Raytheon and Lockheed Martin? The other defense contractors are not really, I mean, they're green right now.
Look at Amazon and Google.
Are they up? Amazon is down. And
Well, it's
Google is
down, but it's up
flat.
from its low of day. So it's
Right.
like flat. Google's up, right? So I think it's money going back to safety right now, not so much going back into, not so much leaving Palantir, but more of just going back to safety. So when you think of Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, those are safety stocks. Mega caps are safety stocks as well. So yeah, Rocket, like Kevin said, Rocket Lab is down, right? It's like, what does that have to do with anything? So I mean, I guess yeah, it kind of has to do with it, but it's like all speculation. Basically, it's kind of risk off right now. That's just all it is.
Wow, Rocket Lab down 6%. I didn't even see that.
There you go. And I think Kelly bought the dip. But she bought Rocket Lab, right?
I'm not sure, but that is down. Also, freaking Hood still down 3%.
There you go. Look at SoFi.
Hims is holding on somehow.
I don't know how that's up, but okay. I mean, I guess it's up because they acquired that company, but I don't know, man.
Where's Grab? Grab is flat, dude. Grab's holding on somehow.
Grab is grabbing onto the gains. Okay, so it is what it is. Market's going to be a little turbulent nowadays, but stay in conviction, man.
Someone said, "Is there a reverse?" Someone said, "Is there a reverse bell?" That is hilarious, bro. Is there a reverse bell? Oh my god, dude. Look, here's my perspective on this as well. Like, we're up a lot, bro. Like the stock, even with this 10% decline, I just don't want to hear anyone complaining about this. Like, it's just being ungrateful. We're up 45% year to date. Like, same thing with Hood. Is there any reason to complain? No. I mean, it's up 60%. Like, it sucks,
but zoom out. That's it.
Yeah. This is one of those things where you zoom out. I mean,
that was a 1 month. That was a 1 month chart, basically. So I mean, that's even better.
I think people's broader question is like, is there a shot that this continues the decline? And no one knows, right? I think we're gonna have to find out how much the market goes risk off, rotates back to Max 7, and I guess we'll see over the coming weeks.